them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people, and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping this secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is, if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. So I'm going to have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13 I'll explain. If you ever need someone to, I guess, feed off of, but not kill, obviously, you know that I'll always give you my blood. You know that.
Well, thanks to Audacious Audrey, I was watching her videos going over these Facebook messages. I haven't even gotten to these yet. I haven't even looked at these until now. And let me tell you. So we see that Gypsy said that Nick forced her to say this and that Nick made her do it, right? What we just saw. Every single demand that he's done, I have yet to see anything about what she's talking about. Anything. And there's a lot of deleted responses from Gypsy to Nick. Let me tell you, they take this thing like super serious. They're both master, both submissive. He takes this like very seriously. Like well, so does she, but like I think he has gotten addicted to it like Dan said he did. That's what I think. We'll get to that in just a second. But let me just show you. Here's him asking her to make the video. Now this is I do want to say that there is like 4 anniversary videos, and there's like an anniversary video in June and then October of the same year. So I'm a little confused how you're having these anniversaries. I don't know how you have so many anniversaries. That video was modified, so I don't know the initial date of that video exactly. Anywho, but I'll read to you what I can. Now here's what you need to add, Demona. You need to add what Gypsy is doing in her video, just in a different way. First, talk about me having my power over you as your master, then you having your power over Nick as his mistress. They go back and forth, like within seconds, switch from Gypsy to Demona and Nick to Victor. It's Gypsy and Demona talking to Master Victor, and then within seconds, Victor switches to Nick, and he's talking to Gypsy and Demona, but Demona is the master. It is so... I'm getting brain rot. Like my kids talk about this brain rot crap, my grandkids. I'm getting brain rot from this. I really am. And I left my glasses in the car. I'm gonna have to go get my glasses, but okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. Okay. Oh my gosh. Then you having your power over Nick as his mistress, and don't forget to talk about you being on the submissive side of the BDSM. This is very, like, they're very into this, right? And we already knew that. She was with Dan as well. And being on the dominant side of BDSM towards Nick. However, the form of the mistress I am teaching you to be is the I guess you mean vampire form, but it's vampiric. which is different, mainly because it has 2 of the 3 aspects of BDSM, which is more strict, meaning the bondage, BONDAGE, discipline, that aspect, as well as dominance and submission are both aspects I'm teaching you to be strict upon. Wow. After you have those aspects perfectly down, that is when you move closer to sadism and masochism. I don't know how to say that word either. Audrey said the same thing, and now I don't know. I don't know how to say that aspect. Which you have to let Nick know is either for a punishment or arousal, nothing more or less. That is why you aren't focusing on the 3rd aspect as strictly. Mention Nick's eggplant size to us both. Gypsy's tata size to us both, and how you feel about both of those. Another thing you should make sure you let Nick know in this video while me and him are watching is letting him know, since I'm teaching you to be a mistress. He keeps saying vampiric. I think it's their own word. I don't know. I don't think that's a word. I could be wrong. The vampiric way. I'm sorry. That means you'll make him earn any form of reward or sweet or loving gesture. Otherwise, he won't get it. He won't earn it. That would also include intimacy, Demona. You guys hopefully can read this. Sometimes it comes out blurry, so I apologize. I don't know. Hopefully you can. That would be it for this video. I'll come up with another one for you to make for Nick, which will be possibly even more important than this one, Demona. I've seen him in his videos literally say, this is Victor, or this is Nick, and now I'll let you have Victor, and he'll look down, and this is your master, Victor. Like, they're really into this. Hold on. And this is what he says next. Now, these are in 2014, June 25th, 2014 is about, sorry, you guys. My hair is itching my back because I can't. Anyways. I hate to read all these. Remember, this is from Nick to Gypsy. Demona. I gave you, and I should mention this is the way you know how to explain it to Nick, Demona. Let him know for the bondage and discipline, dominant, submission. Let him know that for those things. If he isn't making disciplined actions, such as listening to your words, if you tell him to do something or let him do something to you, or him let you do something to him, you will discipline him into listening. And if he refuses to listen, you will, as this is where the dominant submission comes into play. You will force him into submission to what you told him to do, whether it is one form of punishment or another. And if he still doesn't listen, you'll use constraint on him until he's a good slave, Demona. You need to remember to mention this when you go over the BDSM stuff, since I just explained to you how it is with the vampiric form. But the only difference is that you'll be strict on those 2 aspects I just mentioned earlier, more so than what it would be in the human form of BDSM. Since, well, that is why slaves of the vampire's way tend to be the most obedient ones there is. Make sure he knows that stuff while you explain it to him, Demona, on cam, when you're talking to me and him. However, I expect you to, as I'll say this so you know, not to keep going back and forth, since it is something that will annoy me. Demona, when you do that video, make sure you take care of all the things towards me first, then take care of Nick. Remember, your master always comes first when you need to let him know things, Demona, so don't disappoint me. Have it organized when you do it. So this way, I'm pleased to see it that way, Demona. Then Nick says, then yes, you touching afterward, like you originally had in your video, you were supposed to do when you do it. I know that a lot, he meant that's a lot to remember, but I know as long as you have it all in front of you, that is when you can't fail. Oh, and when you give the show towards the end, I'll leave it up to you if you wish to let Nick watch your show or only have your master watch it. You'll decide that in that video, Demona, make me proud by having all this down. Then after that, you shouldn't disappoint me. Gypsy replies, so this was at 1:24:02. And this is just universal time. Audrey gave the time. And I don't remember. I think you take like 6 hours or 7 hours off or something like that. I don't remember. I think I don't remember how the universal time works. I'm sorry, I just don't. But we're just gonna go by the time here. 1:24. She replies back like instantly, but it's deleted. And another was deleted. So I would like to know what she said, but she deletes a lot of her responses. And then she says, thank you, my master. I will keep all you have said saved in my file so I may see and read the list when I'm talking on cam. And we've seen her do that with the paper. That's why I think Nick is looking at his computer screen, and I showed you his setup. His camera isn't in front of the screen. It's to the side. And I showed that in a few videos back. His computer setup. I do think he's reading from a screen. I think Nick, you have to remember, from 2000, like into 2012 to 2015, they literally did everything online. I think that Nick mainly was into that fantasy world too. He was into gaming. And one of the games is a really like fantasy world game. I just can't remember the name of it. He followed a ton of gamers on YouTube. I've looked up the searches, and that's what it took me to from him. I think that everything that I read here and in other messages, Skype and the Yahoo stuff that I looked under, I haven't found anything where he said to Gypsy to make that video. That was my point I wanted to make, and how she deletes messages. Let's not forget, she destroyed her computer. And Nicholas was upset because she destroyed their memories. And she got angry with him because he didn't understand why she destroyed the other PC that she had. But she told the detectives her mom broke it when she didn't. Could you imagine what we would find on that computer? Could you imagine? And I want to point this out. She came to him about a week before this and asked him if she could explore her bisexual side in 2014 because she was bi. And he agreed as long as it would lead, as long as it was just for intimacy, nothing, no emotions involved, etc. And she said, absolutely not. No emotions. It would only be for reasons. That's it, right? And they agreed. Okay, so then Nick gets excited. He gets excited. So, he's leads right into it. So that means at some point, he's not going to let her do it, like they have to meet in person first or something, he said. Like the girl, I guess. But sometimes that they would have to do threesomes and foursomes. And I mean, that's right up her alley. He don't even got to cheat. But he agrees, says yes, blah, blah, blah. And she's all into it as long as it's just for intimacy, nothing. Well, he asked this girl. And she was an ex of his, I guess. Not Allie. It's a different girl. And Gypsy found it. And she's angry. But he reminds her, you said we could have, threesomes and foursomes. So he's demanding her to answer if it's okay or not okay, because they spoke about this because his drive is so high. When in reality, it's not. he is trying to please her so much in that dominant role, and that his libido is so high because he's a vampire wolf. He's just half vampire, half wolf, you know, that he needs just intimacy all the time, all the time, all the time. When in reality, he could never even, he couldn't even, he never, I mean, I don't know about at the house, maybe then, yes, but he was so traumatized after what he did to DeeDee, he was, yeah. And before, at the theater, he never wanted to even have that happen in the theater. He told Gypsy, I showed you guys those text messages. He wanted to do somewhere like get DeeDee out of the house so that he could just sneak over. And Gypsy said, either way, we're doing it at the theater. Bring your A game. Like, not bring your A game, but be prepared because it's going down there. She was determined. She's an exhibitionist. Is that what it's called? Exhibitionism? Yeah. I think it not only the BDSM life turns her on, but exhibitionist. I don't know. It's something like that. I think that is a huge turn on to her. He did not want to, but she did. And that's why I feel the McDonald's thing where she's having him watch videos and he's there talking with her on the computer at McDonald's, etc. How easy would it have been for her to call? You know what? I'm going to start looking to see if there's a McDonald's. Wow. Man, she's deleted a lot though, but wouldn't that be crazy if we could find a McDonald's in Waukesha that she researched and looked up for the telephone number? That would be crazy, right? Anywho, he ends up apologizing, but, you know, she's trying to say he's a cheater even though she got permission to talk to girls. We already know that she's talking to Dan Gladwell the entire time that she's talking to Nick. And I'll show you in a minute. Lord, I'd have to go through another whole set of files, and I'm not gonna because Audrey already did it. I love watching Audrey because she goes over everything. I don't have the time to do that, man. Which today I have been. But here's my problem. I'll get into a file and start reading stuff and then go down a completely different path and start looking up something that I think might go to that, and then I get stuck there and go down this rabbit hole and then I'm stuck there for hours, and so I've wasted a lot of time just looking at stuff that, because you're trying to see, bottom line, a lot of the profiles she looks at, a lot of the searches that she does on Facebook for accounts, you look them up and they're gone, right? I spent a lot of time doing that the past few days. It's depressing. People just have random Facebooks, you know? But that's what this is about right here. If you go to the Facebook, Demona Love Slave Facebook messages, this is like start around, hold on. Go to page, this is how much they talk about it. Start around 94, around there. And you will see them arguing about him adding this girl that he's just added. And Gypsy's upset about it, even though she's already got permission to do it. And he's like, this is just, no feelings are involved and we can't see each other in person, etc. I think, you know, Nick was probably wanting a real life girlfriend. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I do want to say really fast, sorry, he did delete the other Love Slave. This is so cringy. So after he deletes her from that, she's excited and happy, and Demona does wink wink. Well, first she says, hold on, remember when we used to role play, like roll, ROLL? And he says, true, Demona, yes I do. She says, would you like to? Wink, wink. He asks, what's on your mind? He spells roleplay right. And she says, how about sexual forced intimacy? With a winky smiley face heart emoji. And he says, so you picked my favorite and my main fantasy that I will make happen all the time to you in person, Demona. Someone's really trying to please their master. Mind you, his huge fantasy with her is her doing that to him. That's hers for him to do to her. Whatever. I just want to point this out because they're just kind of being flirty right through here. But he says, yeah, you sexy female, half wolf, half dog lady. She even laughs too. She says, LOL. Laughing face and heart. I do want to point out, because this is where I just want to point this out. This is the fantasy, etc. And he says, because they're talking about it, he says, good, Demona. Well, I'll give you the setting. You go into an abandoned house that I live in as a vampire, and I take you by surprise. And the rest you know, meaning the forced intimacy. But this forced intimacy is the type you are forced to enjoy, as is the only way I would want my soulmate to have it. It's not meant to be. I mean, there's a lot of people that are into that role play, right? That's their kinks. And she said, yes, sir, got it. Winky smiley face heart. And good, Demona. Are we ready to role play? I'm ready, master. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is from Nick. Here we go. Do you remember your symbol? That is your personal symbol, Demona. What does Demona say? It's just the, like and symbol. But it's, like the figure 8 with the slash through it. That's all it shows. He knows it. I guess that's her symbol. And then they start going into details. I don't want to get into that. I'm sorry. But you can read it through the Google Drive. Into the Weeds has it posted on their website. And I just want to say that it's like they're talking to each other. It's like it's like a fantasy story they're just telling each other. It really is. I also want to say, there's a lot of you call me daddy right now, little one, etc. We already know she had daddy issues. This was a big fantasy of hers too. The whole daddy thing. She would post, call me daddy with on her Emma Rose account and stuff. I feel like that's a big issue of hers. Also, maybe that's where, I don't know. I was just throwing that out there because she's like, yes, daddy, I'll be good. And it's always this daddy stuff. It's just kind of cringe. And, we heard the phone call with Rod I played. Her wanting more than just a father-daughter. I just played that last video, so she wanted more than just a father-daughter bond. She wanted to go beyond that. And then her sending the inappropriate pictures and stuff to her dad that Mia saw. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I feel like, I don't know. I'm going to leave that. I'll wait and keep my mouth shut about that. Oh, what I did want to add is she absolutely wants to make sure she keeps him pleased because this is her plan. And I'm going to show you her talking to Dan Glywell where she said they never spoke again. Remember? We just showed you that. That's a lie. Oh my God, what I just read. I do believe that Nick also had mommy issues. What better of a match, you know? He was so desperate to have a female love. I don't know. I know he didn't have the best upbringing, etc., but I'm not gonna sit here and say that she calls him daddy, he calls her little one. It's just really, for me, off-putting. And I get that there's these daddy-daughter role-playing kinks that people do. I get that. For me, just knowing what they looked at and search, it's a little more than that. And they committed MURDER. Can I just say, there's this. I've been scrolling for pages, and this one story is still going on. um, then you feel my eggplant stretch your vajayjay so much that it hurts your vajayjay, but how much it is as it gets to its full 36 inches or yard size and length and 6 inches in width. What the freak? This is some definite fantasies. I want to just say, I don't know if you guys can tell my face is blood red. I'm skimming through like over half this because I don't want to read it. I'm so embarrassed. And now I find this really interesting. The next day she says, Master, can you do me a favor? Can you find a video, a corn video, to show me how rough you will get? I can't really imagine it, so he says, I'll show you one in person before I express it on you, since it's best to do it that way. It's just, he says he needs to do it in person. And then he asks about her video. She hasn't been along yet. But then she says, and this is the next day, it said, hi, my soulmate master. Gypsy has thought long about having Nick take over as her master, sir. I think it's a good idea as she worships him the way I do for you. Don't worry, I'll keep you very happy and pleased. I think she just needs to be with her soulmate master. Master it? Wasn't something she knew till she felt she could be mad at you. She loves you, but she feels I can handle you on my own as your queen slave. Demona. Nick says, Demona, it is your master. First of all, this is too early to let them have each other as him be her master. He is still learning. He may be a natural at both sides of it, but that don't mean that he'll learn everything fast. He still has learning to do, Demona. So I don't see reason to do that. This is early, so I'll just have to let her know this myself. Yes, master, I see. He says, good, Demona. And she tells him she's making the video today. I just want to point out, I'm thinking, Nick's kind of rude as the dominant, but I guess that's how you got to be, because she is too. She's like, Nicholas, it is your mistress. I won't hesitate to punish you severely. You best understand that. In all caps, y'all, which I've showed you. You'll never convince me. I don't care. I do not care. DeeDee was a nurse. You're not going to convince me she didn't know how to spell nurse. N-U-R-C-E. Get out of here. I don't believe that for a second. Gypsy was on the phone, computer, her iPad. She was on these devices and she had 2 hidden phones. I don't care what you say. That chick responded and intercepted messages from other. She had Nick's passwords to his account, his Facebook accounts, etc. She was intercepting his messages, intercepting DeeDee's. She was an internet sleuth like she is now. But yeah. He says, ma'am, I may naturally still test you. And she said, then be prepared for the consequences after your test. He says, punishment how? And she's like, if you act up, I'll punish you how I see fit. I will get on top of you and dominate you into submission. Oh my God. Oh God. But then in all fairness, when she's the dom and he's the submissive, he says he's a good boy, like a little boy. So there's that. Page 154, they get into the strap-on. It's just letting you know. And then you get to page 157, and she goes on to tell him, and this is where I think she made the video where she's high, and this is 8/10/2014. I'm going to go back and look at my video, because I think that's when DeeDee is telling Rod she had to give her medicine. I do. Because listen, 8/10/2014, because he says, I understand you have something to tell me. Okay. And she said, yes, my master. It was 2010 and 2011. I had just surfaced, surfest, inside Gypsy when I started playing games with guys. I used Gypsy's fingers to make texts and take pics. The men asked me to send them photos with no clothes on to make the text. So I took my top off, took the pic, and sent it. Crying, sad face. I had fun teasing them, saying I'd have intimacy with them, but I never went through with it. With my words, only the texts and pics I sent them to 4 guys, but Gypsy's mom found out and threatened the men that if they ever came close to me again, she'd put them in jail because Gypsy was underage. And they, T-H-Y, she can't spell they or then. She can spell then. Okay. They, she says T-H-Y, and if it's than, T-H-A-N, she always puts T-H-E-N every single time. Every time. Or if it's THN, it's TH. She does it every time. They were like 35 to 50. I was stupid, master. Was testing my limits of my sexuality. And I was getting male attention like I wanted. I told you I was untamed before I met you. Before I met you, then you tamed me, and I've been loyal to you ever since, liar. You're a liar, Gypsy. And let me tell you, she absolutely did do this with men, and I do think DeeDee probably told her, you're not doing that in my house. I don't blame her. This chick is sending, and it ain't just a few guys. I think she's doing it to a lot of men. A lot. I think that's why she had to be careful with DeeDee. And her telling Nick she didn't have much time is because she's talking to a ton of different people at one time. And if she's not talking to him, she is obsessing and stalking profiles on Facebook. It's crazy bananas. And she even had Nick blocked on one of her accounts, and he caught on finally. He forgives her, and they do role play. The reason I say this is because I'm going to go back and check and see when I got to get into the Skype messages and see when those were sent to Nick, because I truly think she intercepted those and Nick didn't know about it. I think Dan's girlfriend messaged Nick, she did, and said that she would not leave them alone. She wouldn't quit sending nudes. This is where she made that whole thing where someone posted it on her GoFundMe page with her and her mom, and they tried to embarrass her, but her mom took her side. I don't know if DeeDee saw it. She said she intercepted the message, so how did she see it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe other people did and they said, but you know, Gypsy could have said, oh, it was some fake photo somebody put on there and photoshopped my face on it. But she definitely didn't see the messages from Dan's girlfriend because she said she intercepted it. I think she did with Nick too. I just want to point out there's a lot of, you know, the paddling and the stinging and etc. And they've never even met, so they don't even know. It's never happened to either of them in real life or in any intimate situation. It's all bananas to me. Cuckoo bananas. I'm just saying this. Ain't nobody gonna tell me when I have permission to log on and off. I swear to God that ticks me off. I don't care if it's even in fantasy or not. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody going to tell me when I can get on and off my phone. I get it. It's a fantasy, but this is really starting to tick me off. I can't stand that crap. I know it's their fantasy. I can't do it. I'm on page 210 and I haven't got past freaking fantasy stories. This is disturbing. I don't like it. Yeah, I told you, I knew it, because this is just a few days later, right after her KC trip to Kansas City. Again, I don't even think she had a trip, but I think she just tells Nick that. I absolutely agree she does not love this boy. She never loved him, and I do think she set this kid up. She does everything to try to just not talk to him, and she like falls asleep mid role play. Gypsy can't keep her eyes open, master. But here we have on 9/1/2014. She says, and this is still from before, I'm happy you and Gypsy worked it out. May I say good night? May I say good job keeping calm through it all. And Nick says, thank you, ma'am, because she's the dom, he's submissive right now. You know, she's the mistress, he's the, you get it. She never meant to hurt you, and her both know she would never love again if she lost you. Yes, ma'am. You did everything right. You listened to her, let her explain, and didn't snap. That was amazing, because she, yes, was scared you'd think she was cheating on you or trying to leave you, but it was a case of she did, he did. She said this, and a big crappy ex-friend, new girlfriend, got things way off base. Bass. Way off base things. I understand that, ma'am. Jip could have any man she wants. she, you mean she could be any man? I don't know. I'm just kidding. This is a commentary channel with a little bit of comedy, okay? Don't come at me. Oh my lord. You and her are the ideal couple. Oh, phone battery's low. You're dismissed for now, my slave. Jesus, I'm gonna say it again. If I had, look at this. This is just to get off. I'm. Thank you, sir. May I please be dismissed, master? And this is just what they do and say to each other just to be dismissed. Oh my God. And this is her Dark King and Dark Angel, by the way. Oh my God. And in the role playing, she's like, you ungrateful little weasel, how dare you talk to me in such a disrespectful way? If I had a strap on, I'll use it for hours on you. I was testing your ability as a master to make sure you're ready. You are misbehaving so bad I am livid. Grabs your hair and yanks you to the ground. I am your mistress. You never disrespect me, you ungrateful prick. You don't fear me. How about I make you cry? There is nothing that will hurt you more than Gypsy getting hurt. I'll hurt her. I'll make her bleed. Still want to be a eggplant? I'm sorry. She says, I stay shot for a moment, then I run after you, grab your shirt, and backhand your face. What the F is wrong with you tonight? Take it like a man. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I went through all these, and it's just like repeated over and over. And it says that, hi, my master, your slave. Demona, understand all you said about Nick. I'm sorry about not poking. I didn't get a Facebook notification about it, blah, 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 right? Then you go on down, and it says, master. So that was 10/6. Okay, 2 days later. Master, I need to delete this account now. And this is on 10/26/2014. Someone messaged Gypsy's mom about this. We all know that. He says, why is this, Demona? Wall's closing in, I guess. Oh, I see. Okay, let me do it, Demona. Since that is fine, I'll take care of it. Dan's mom even messaged Gypsy's mom. Lucky Gyp checked mom's spam Facebook message. I deleted it, but we need to crack down fast. Okay, like I said, I'll delete that profile. You leave that to me. Okay, scrub this away, master. Permanently delete this account, please, sir. And then that's the end of it. I'm getting off now, so you can do that. I'll deal with it. Don't worry. Just make sure Gypsy's mom never finds anything. You know, let me go show you her looking at Dan's profile the entire time. So I think it was like the 60-minute interview she did. Her and Nick never had, her and Dan never had any more. No, I even put it in my audio book and just showed you guys in my last video. In her audio book, her version, the day she left that house from Dan Glidewell, that her mama came and got her, they never spoke again. You guys. Let's let Audrey debunk this. Shall we? Shout out to Audrey. Because it's, yeah.
Hold on, let's finish going through this and I'll get you that. So then she goes and she looks at Nicholas Bella Rose. She goes back to Facebook, goes back to Dan's page, back to Dan's page. She stays obsessed with Dan. Okay, so his ID number is 377-25-164-5797-394. I'm pretty sure is his. Hold on, because I scrolled all the way over. Because you can't see it all at one time. Let's go. 377-25-164-5797-394. Oh, says no longer available. The ID, it's the, whenever you go to a Facebook, I can prove they were in contact. Here's how I can prove it. Because you see Dan, Facebook, Dan, right? The top three. Let's go back over. Message. Right there. Oh, wait, right there. Message right there.
It's time to power up with real.
Oh, I don't think I didn't record that. Shoot, they were texting, but she deletes those messages. She looks at Dan's page way more than she does Nick's. But she goes back, she continues to message him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But then she goes and deletes the entire conversation. Let me see what date Audrey said these are. Okay, that one that she just looked at was 20 days before the crime. She had 2 burner phones. Again, we don't have that desktop or laptop she destroyed either, you know? So, how diabolical is it that you're sitting there on your phone, which she is on her phone speaking to somebody, but in the messages, it doesn't show her speaking. She said she's going to get her feeding tube, going to KC, right? The day before the act happened. She doesn't respond to Nick for an hour and a half. She's talking to somebody. It just ain't Nick. And I think it's Dan. And you know what? Dan's profile is still up, and it hasn't been updated since 2015. Wonder why. I have showed you some comments he's made in other videos. Yeah, I don't know. Bottom line, I think she didn't want Nick. She wanted Dan. She wanted to come back and live in a little house and screw whoever she wanted. Look at her. She used Ryan to get out of prison or to get on parole. Was with him a month and left him, got pregnant with Ken in less than a month and a half out of prison. 2 months. She wasn't even out 2 months and she's knocked up by Ken. This chick can't stay loyal. She can't. She has done nothing but lie and lie and lie since she's got out, and people just overlook it. It's bananas. I want to point this out because I have said this before, and oh my gosh, people don't question her. And this is why I do get so angry because she's the sheltered victim, you know, played that card out, right? People don't address it, don't ask her and they don't question it, and everybody just overlooked all the inaccuracies because it was not okay to ask. Does that make sense? I agree with this. I do. And this is why I get so angry about her lies. Because she is such a fake victim. She didn't have the trauma, you guys. She didn't. I don't know what, I mean, my God. What else do you... She lies about everything. I'm sorry, guys. My face is... No makeup today. My face is flushed from the messages, though. My eyes are better. The redness is going away and the swelling is going down. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, little baby Jesus. Yeah. Let's do a Gyp count and see where she's at on TikTok, shall we? You guys, this morning she was at 56.9K and now she's at 78.5K. Shocker. Oh, she got a new video. Let's watch it. Yeah. I first want to point out she's making sure in every video to do this. Every video. I mean, I would have to, because without those, you would think she was a boy. You would. And she's going to explain her hair. You have to be joking. Joking at this point, Gypsy, if you want people to believe that your mother chopped your hair off.
Mine for quite some time, you will have seen me go through several hair transformations in the last 2 years. So I went from
a whole 35 fake followers, fake likes, and she's got a whole 16 comments, guys. If you follow her, you can comment. It should be that simple. That's how it is on my page whenever I have it listed as followers only. I did that a while because I was getting slam reported, mass reported. So, a whole 16 comments. And look, she replied to one out of 16 people, and it was Sheena. Get the flip out of here.
a natural brunette to dyeing my hair blonde or bleaching it blonde, and then back to brunette with box dye. Did it myself. Bad. Okay, so back to blonde. Then again, back to brunette with box dye.
She's so scary
and
looking.
back to blonde. So unfortunately, my hair can only take so much until I fried it. So I had to start fresh. I had to give me a haircut. So
Everybody say she's so small. I don't see it. She is not. I mean, yeah, my collarbones show it. They always have. She's got these weird, long arms. She's very short, very thick. How's she underweight? Look at. You're not going to be that underweight with your tatas that big. Just say. And she keeps looking at him. Look at her. She's looking at her tatas. How? She's so disgusting. I'm sorry. And she has a kid. I'm sorry. Not because of that, but because of what we know. That's what I mean. I mean, I wear tanks here, but I'm telling you, it is cold here in the South right now. I'm in Florida, and we're getting 30s at night. And 50s during the day. Same for her. So there ain't no way.
So I cut my hair in September.
Spit it out, Jesus.
Either August or September of last year. And so this is the growth that's happened so far. I think it's about 4 inches at the top. I did trim the sides.
Just say you're back in your Demona era. Did you find Dan? Are y'all talking now?
I watched a TikTok video that told me that you have to like taper the sides so everything.
I can't.
It was necessary to cut my hair at the time. So what do? I wear.
So she damaged your hair and it was necessary to shave it off. Not has anything to do with the skiing. Nothing to do with that, y'all. Her and Kim both shaved their head at the same time. But that's just a coinkydink.
Wigs. So I'm going to show you guys where I get my wigs from, the quality, how much it cost, and the overall.
She's gonna brag about 5,000 in wigs that
this
look
is my collection
horrible.
of wigs by Tiffany. This was my first. I do not remember what her name was, but she is 15 inches. She was originally a dirty blonde.
Look how thin it is. And you paid $2,500 for that?
Until I dyed her hair myself. She had highlights. If y'all remember, that was the beautiful blonde. They do have their own line of hair care products. So the shampoo, the conditioner, the hair oil, comes with a nice little travel bag.
You can get that, whatever.
And then I decided that I was gonna get another one.
She got the hairbrush too, y'all.
A little darker this time. So I got Maggie. She is 21 inches long.
I hate anything that is remotely... That's my mama's name.
With caramel highlights, all human hair, has the lace front. I cut this one myself. I did not do a good job. Tiffany herself cut that one. I did go into the office and get my head fitted for this one actually. But now that my hair is starting to grow out more, I decided to size up and get Maggie. So these are probably, all this is probably like a total of $5,000 that I spent. Good quality hair.
You got ripped off, girl. You got ripped off. You got ripped off. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done with this video. I can't stand looking at her. I cannot.
Cha-cha. Amazing because I don't know this dance. Huh? I don't know this dance. What are you doing? Wow, that was really loud. Gotta remember, we're not at Vision Con.
So remember, this is her saying, gotta remember, this isn't VisionCon. Did you see DeeDee laugh? And she was like laughing with her. Yeah, we gotta remember, because VisionCon was a big party. A bunch of people drinking all the time. It's nothing but they rented rooms at a hotel, at a banquet like that, in the banquet room at that hotel. The entire town and her neighborhood went to VisionCon, including the mayor and Comic Con. But she was so secluded, you know, like I just said, we were just talking about that people didn't want to ask these questions because, you know, she was hidden away, wasn't allowed friends, never doing anything. She had a better childhood than I did. She chose to sit in that wheelchair. You can watch all my other videos. I'm not going through that again. But she sat at that hospital on that phone, not talking to Nick, but was planning her mother's MURDER while her mother's taking to get her feeding tube fixed. She couldn't get it removed. She didn't have time. So she got it replaced. Oh, and she's planning, plotting to take her mother's life.
In a bar, but it's called a pub.
And restaurant.
Say it. Come on, say it. Say Foxy Car Yard.
I think that they were both having some drinks there. Gypsy was an adult. DeeDee knew that. And I think she did have drinks with Gypsy because Gypsy even said she liked to have drinks occasionally. I think DeeDee let her indulge with just her. Absolutely. I do believe that.
Dance. I don't know this dance. What are you doing? Ow! Wow, that was really loud. Gotta remember, we're not at Vision Con. Hi,
I probably can't play the song, but this is DeeDee. That's DeeDee right there. That's DeeDee. She's in this video on YouTube. Richard Marks has her in the video. That's DeeDee. That is DeeDee right there. That's DeeDee. She told her friend she was in the video. Nobody believed her, but she was. All she did was ever take care of her child. That's it. That's all she ever did. She took care of her child. Gypsy was a sick child. DeeDee fought and found answers. I think DeeDee absolutely took advantage of every situation she could financially to help give her daughter a life because her dad wasn't in it. That's the truth, Rod. You weren't there. She was in cheer, beauty pageants, Girl Scouts, brownies, Bible school, summer Bible school. How many Disney trips now? And she has how many costumes, wigs, every Disney television, stuffed animal, her Barbies, and there's a doll she has. It's like one of the most expensive dolls ever. And she has one. She was spoiled, is what was wrong. She lies. She lied so good she fooled an entire community. DeeDee wasn't going to let her continue to get online and act like a Jezebel and then turn around and ask her, can Nick live with us so we can get married and have a baby? All while she's still online sending nude photos to other men and women too, probably. No. DeeDee was scared of her. I just showed you the photo of the bandages. Gypsy unloaded a GUN on her that she thought was real, but it was metal pellets, and chased her through the house with daggers. You're going to do anything for your kid. The medical records show absolutely zero factitious disorder or Munchausen by proxy. Gypsy was a sick kid. She lied. She lied. She lied. She lied about the wheelchair. I've showed you over and over. Over and over. This girl said it. When DeeDee figured out she could walk, I mean, she said it in her own thing that her mama said she's going to lose a ton of friends. I think DeeDee said, I'm not telling nobody. No, 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 that's all you. She was going to embarrass DeeDee. DeeDee knew that. Gypsy loved it when it fit her narrative and she got the little local celebrity and got all the gifts and the vacations and everything handed to her. But when that stopped, then she was done. She didn't need Mama. And Mama said, I'm not raising your kid. You're not moving in here. You can go live your life, but you ain't staying here. And I think Gypsy said, oh, I am. And I think that's exactly why she looked for a shelter. She feared for her life. Why wouldn't you? And we only know about those 2 times. Well, 3, the actual MURDER, including the other 2 times. Who knows what she did to her? Who knows? One day before the MURDER, there she is, still in her wheelchair, getting her. She even web searched about being pregnant with her G2, the mini G2. She had a Minnie Mouse. She was getting it replaced. Now look at her. Get her phone out from behind her bunny. And look, she's texting on that phone. And then boom, she hides something. It's eerie. So just show you again, she's got it right here in her hand, right? But look, now she's got it in both hands. She's going to pull it around. You can see it in her hand. Right there it is. You can see it right there. She's still holding it. She holds it up under the bunny head. You can see it right there. She closes her hand, but it looks like it's still in her hand to me, unless she put it back there, and it just doesn't look like she did that to me. Maybe she did. I don't know. But it still looks like she's holding something in that hand right there. Her mom knew she had a phone. And that's not the point. She just didn't want her mom seeing the message. You can see her holding it. And she's looking down again. Oh, there it is. You can see her put it. She's got a phone there. I see it. I see it. It's a small phone, but she definitely, and they had the flip phones for the government phones, right? She had 2 burner phones. And they went off right after this appointment. This was on the 7th or the 8th, I can't remember. This is just the other angle, but I definitely see a phone in her hand. That's definitely a phone. You'll not convince me otherwise. It is a definite, you see the phone. I wish you could see over here when she comes back through. I don't know if you can or not. That's why I'm waiting till the end, but how do you have your mom take you, get it replaced, and set and knowing you're taking her life in a day and a half? How? And those phones went off. Well, DeeDee's phone and another one of Gypsy's phones, both. That's why I say something happened before. Their phones went down on the 7th that night and never came back on. Shut down, never came back on, which was not normal from what the cops, if you read what it says about the phone. Let's see if we can see it. Right there it is. I'm telling you, she's got a phone in her hand. I see it right there. Want to see you next Tuesday. Well, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. I'll see you next Tuesday. She is a see you next Tuesday. Thank you, Into the Weeds. I swear. Anywho, thank you, Into the Weeds. Thank you, Audrey, for your input on that too, and I went straight to the Facebook pages. I'm telling you guys, like Audrey, it's all day. You could sit and get lost in these files. There's so many. There is just so many. All right, you guys, I'm hopping off here. Let me know what you think about this. DeeDee never saw this message as they were intercepted. Nick never saw that message from Dan's girlfriend. Gypsy intercepted it. He doesn't say anything on there that he got a message. Nope. She said delete it. I don't believe Dan's mom messaged DeeDee either. I don't believe that. Why would Dan's mom message DeeDee? The girlfriend might have, not the mom. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and opinion. Thank you guys for being here. Let me know. I don't know if you want to talk about something else. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. But until then, I'll let you know what I find. This is thousands and thousands of pages. All right, I'll see you in the next video, you guys. Good night.